everyone. Welcome to a very exclusive show. Okay.
Is that your passport photo?
I guess so. I have a few copies of it. But yeah, welcome everyone. Sorry for the delay. But today is a little bit of what we did last month, basically. Kind of like a sort of like a 1 month, you could say. Now it's becoming like something like that, 1 month show, you could say. Probably a lot more content compared to last month, because obviously now we're a lot closer. And big up to Dantrum, hope you're doing well, if it appears there. So yeah, obviously lots of things to talk about, but not necessarily on Newcastle or Depot or whatever. It's mostly on Charlie, you could say, kind of like a interview. So look, I believe last time we've done this, we didn't know if Italy made the World Cup. We didn't know if Palermo were either automatics or playoffs. We don't know if Spurs have won a game yet, which they have recently. So I guess for today's show, we'll kind of go in like that sort of order, you could say. So we'll start off with the more uh, further back news of Italy have failed to qualify for the World Cup for the third time. And that means that surely by the time it's 2030 or 34 or 38 or 42 or 2046, whichever year it is that Italy do qualify, I don't know how old you'll be. But yeah, how you feel about that?
I mean, first things first, big up to 10 for having me on. It's good to be back. In terms of the delay, that was my fault, everyone. That was completely, don't blame 10, that was all my fault. Because
And now your microphone's muted. Cannot hear. Oh. Damn. It's almost like because trying to fix it like Xavi Simmons, the medical team. That's what it feels like. Taking forever, you could say, with the technical difficulties for Charlie.
all right, am I back?
Yeah.
How much of it did you catch?
Almost nothing.
Nothing.
Except except maybe like the first part.
Basically, yeah, I was saying, obviously, thanks for having me on. In terms of the delay, yeah, that was me. But we're here now, which is good. And yeah, it should be a good show. Obviously, it's been about a month, I think, since we last did this. So very happy to be back on. Like I said, me and 10 are still going to stream when we're sort of both available and stuff. So it's good to be back. Obviously, I've appeared on a few watch alongs since, which has obviously been really good. So yeah, yeah, looking forward to it. In terms of Italy, which is what you're asking, words cannot describe the utter embarrassment, the failure of this federation and this national team. I don't care what people say. We are the only behind Brazil. We are the greatest football national team in history. I keep saying this. People say Argentina, people say Germany, all of these countries. I might be a bit biased, but I've always said, for me, Italy, we are outside, like I said, outside of Brazil in a league of their own. Outside of Brazil, we are the greatest footballing nation to have ever been. But we're not right now. We're far from it. We're, not even better than the likes of Czech Republic, who were able to qualify. Congrats to them, of course. But obviously, Bosnia. I mean, I knew we were going to lose as soon as Bastoni decided to do what I think Bastoni has been doing all season, really, which has been absolutely terrible. I don't think people know that don't watch Serie A. People will look at Bastoni and think, "Oh, Bastoni, he's a good player. He's somebody that tends to be highly rated." All of this, Bastoni's been terrible. He's been absolutely horrendous this season, and it all really kind of kicked off with that whole dive against Juventus. which got Kalulu sent off. Bastoni has been a disaster this season. It's been for me by far his worst season of his career so far. Albeit Inter are about to win the Scudetto, but I don't think Bastoni's been particularly great. Even so, he's been terrible this season, and ultimately Bastoni was a big reason why we went out. But he's not the only reason. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm not going to scapegoat one player. The reality is we don't deserve to be there because Bosnia, I thought, even before, I know the red card was pretty early. Obviously, Moise Ken put us 1-0 up at that point. I didn't think, I thought Bosnia had multiple chances to score and they didn't take it. The goal was only a matter of time. Donnarumma, fair play to him. The only player I think that can really hold his head up high was keeping us in the game. Obviously, they equalised, wasn't surprised. Obviously, you were on the watch along with me and Josh, so you know kind of our reactions to everything. And penalties, I called it. You were there. I knew that Cristante would come on, and I knew that he'd miss a penalty. I know how this national team works. I know how it always goes, and it wasn't a surprise. Since then, again, third time in a row, which I can't believe I'm saying. Since then, Gattuso's gone. Gravina's gone at last. Finally, Gravina's gone. Probably the worst federation president in the history of football, to be honest. And the whole board have resigned, essentially. This should have happened last time. It didn't. It has happened now. So we'll see what changes are really going to happen, because ultimately what Italy have got to do is change so many things. It's not going to be an overnight job. This is going to take years with how much of a mess it is, because Italian football, for as much as I rave about the Serie A, I can't defend it anymore. I can't defend what's happening because we are very behind. We don't have the infrastructure. We might get the Euro 2032 taken away from us. We've got clubs like Como, and I know a lot of I've seen a lot of other fellow Italian fans are blaming Como for everything that's going on. I don't necessarily blame them, but what I would say about a club like Como is Como have no Italians in their team, no Italian players. Like, their best players are the likes of Nico Pass. You've got Da Cunha in there. None of these guys are Italian. You know, Diao was like, these guys are, you know, have been bought externally from other leagues. So when you look at, there was a game, I think it might have been between Napoli and Inter recently. There was only 3 Italians across both teams. And I'm not saying that, oh, we can't have any foreign players in the league or anything, but there is no path for young Italian players because the clubs would rather go and get somebody abroad, go and get another player instead of give the youth a chance and give them the chance to sort of develop. The only club really that I think is doing it, well, there's more than one, I would say. I think Atalanta have been one of the better ones at doing it, and I think Sassuolo as well have been one of the better ones of doing it. So, but there's not enough. You know, you look at Inter, who's coming through. You look at you've got Esposito, fantastic. Obviously, he did miss one of the penalties, unfortunately, against Bosnia. You've got players at Milan like Kamada that aren't even getting a look in, who's on loan at Lecce at the moment, not even getting a look in. You've got other guys across that. There's many players I can name. Michael Coyote at Brentford, who's been fantastic, not even getting called up. He's playing with the U21s. You've got Ruggeri at Atletico, who I don't think is amazing, but I think, honestly, why not? I would rather see something different than see the same players fail yet again. And this even goes for the players that I've rated, like the Barellas, the DiMarcos, the Bastonis. All of these guys, for me, can't play for the national team anymore because it's past a point of no return because they have failed yet again. They have clearly proven they can't get us over the line. And that for us to properly reset things, we have to start from scratch. And I always go back to the example. For me, we have to do what Spain did. And you'll know this as a Spanish fan, you'll know this extremely well. Spain were in a bit, maybe not as big of a mess of Italy, but they're in quite a bit of a mess, I think, since winning the World Cup, I'm pretty sure, in 2010. After that, you know, and the Euros, after 2012, a bit of a mess, right?
Yeah.
Spain just reset everything. You have De La Fuente, who's getting all the players. There's a clear path from the youth teams into the first team. You're seeing Lamine Yamal. You're seeing all of these guys come through. Obviously, big names like Rodri in there. You're seeing even other. You got Dean Huijsen as well. Like there's multiple players.
Well,
But for
didn't
Italy,
didn't he come to Juventus or Roma?
he did, but still, the Spain were willing to give him a chance. If he was Italian, he wouldn't be seeing first team football. I can guarantee you that. So we've got multiple guys like Coyote, like there's a guy called Lipani at Sassuolo, who I think deserves a chance. You've got people like Kamada. You've got so many people that are just not getting a look in because of the politics surrounding everything and the favoritism towards the old guard that continuously let us down. We'll see what happens from now on because obviously the whole board has resigned. Gravina's gone. Gattuso's gone. We'll see what happens now if they're going to get Baggio back, because I think what we have to do is get Baggio back because he actually told us what to do, but we didn't listen to him. So if we can get him back, that's obviously a fantastic start. But we'll see. It could easily be more of the same. We don't know. Gravina could be replaced with his brother. We really don't know. So it's hard to say on that front, but we need a reset. And the only way it's going to happen is with an actual modern approach to building the football for the national team. It's the only way it's going to happen. Obviously, now we've got, in terms of the immediate future, we've got Baldini as our interim manager. Somebody that I love very much because he was at Palermo and got us promoted to Serie B in 2022. So a manager that I really like. Obviously, he was doing a great job with the under-21s. So he's obviously the interim. I don't think he's going to be full-time. In terms of who I want as the manager, everyone knows it. I want Conte. Bring me Conte because Conte knows how to get the best out of players, but not even just that. If he won't take shit from anyone. So if somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do, he's not going to call them up. If you've got people like Bastoni doing what they're doing, Conte's not going to call them up. He's not going to care about reputation. So for me, we've got to get Conte back. Get Conte back to the national team because since 2006, obviously it's been a disaster. This has been going on for years. But when Conte was manager, for me, that was the best Italy we've seen since 2006. Besides the Euros. But the Euros, for me, was a flash in the pan. It was a purple patch because we had this really long unbeaten run. Mancini, doing well, but then ultimately he failed as well. So his sort of time as the Italian manager has been sort of like tainted just simply because he failed like before him. What's his name? Ventura. And now Gattuso is the next one. So big up to Jay as well. So for me, look, it's not even about in terms of like the development and stuff. It's not even so much I have a problem with foreign players coming into the league because obviously that happens in every league. My issue is that young Italian players are not getting the opportunity to develop and actually build their career up because you're seeing it, whether I like it or not. I think the Prem's overrated, but you're seeing Italian players move to the Prem more frequently than we've ever seen before, like Tonali, like Calafiori, like even for Spurs, Vicario, Udogi, all of these guys moved to the Prem. Whereas before, that was really rare. So we need to have a better development system in Italy for these guys to actually have a path to the national team. And that's the only way for me we're gonna fix what is going on because this is a failed organization and a failed federation. It's very simple.
Yeah. I mean, the best example, speaking on like Spain's redevelopment, you could say after the golden generation, you can say there was obviously the time that Spain, what do you call it, maybe from practically the 2013 Confederations Cup, if you will remember, like the 3-0 loss to Brazil. That was kind of like, okay, maybe it's the start. And then the World Cup 5-1 loss to the Netherlands and all that sort of stuff. But then the only thing that kind of helped Spanish football was, well, Real Madrid was winning, Barcelona were winning, like 2015, 16, 17, 18, and all that. And then, but the national team was never that as good as it was until obviously the most recent Euros, and now you have almost half of the world's population saying Spain will win the World Cup.
Which is what
I
I
don't.
think as well. I think
I,
that.
obviously, I want Spain to win it, but I have a not a bad feeling. I just don't think Spain will win it ultimately. I do think there is one nation that borders both Italy and Spain that I think will win it. Uh,
France. France.
Viva la France. So still, unless
No, I
one
don't
of
want
you,
I don't want France to win it.
unfortunately, I feel like that
Because do you
might
know what
be.
it is? I like Spain because Spain with Italy, there's no rivalry. We're kind of like
Um,
brothers. Spain and
mm,
Italy like brothers, but France is a rival. I don't want France to win
oh
it.
yeah, and Chiesa as well. Jordan
Yeah,
said.
the Chiesa one's weird because Chiesa originally got called up, but then he pulled out. I mean, who knows? Maybe he didn't want to play for the national team because of what was going on upstairs. I mean, who knows? You can
Yeah,
never rule it out.
yeah, and then obviously the Spain thing. Obviously, Charlie knows a lot more of the Segunda than most people.
Hmm.
There's one B team in the Segunda, which is Real Sociedad, and who won the Copa del Rey? Real Sociedad.
Sociedad, yeah.
So and in a way, you kind of all seeing that path from the B team to the A
Yeah.
team, that sort of thing. So obviously, I don't know exactly how
But
it
it's like
works.
even with Spain, right? Again, I'll come back to what I said about kind of players coming from abroad and stuff. They're still doing that in Spain, but they're having they have the right balance of it. They can still bring players in from abroad whilst giving the young Spanish players to the opportunity to develop. The
Yeah,
problem is in Italy, we're kind of going one. It's kind of one or
unless
the
you're
other.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because I saw what was it, the Bayern Munich game, one of the Madrid games. Real Madrid for the first time had zero Spanish players in their starting 11, which I saw it was like a first or something.
Damn.
So, but then you look at Barcelona, and it's like more than half of their team are actually from Catalonia.
Well, to be
So,
fair with Barca, like they do have a conveyor belt. It's La Masia we're talking about,
yeah,
so it's literally a conveyor belt of people.
yeah. Whereas in Italy, that sort of thing is more like AC Milan.
Yeah, but they're not getting the problem is they're there, but they're not getting the opportunity. It's not like they're not there; they're there, but they're not
Mm,
getting the opportunities. It's even if you want to go back even further, right? I think I'm sure there's plenty of young Italians out there that have not even been scouted or considered that could have gone on to be really. I'm telling you, I bet you there's so many players. If people went to scouting, the little villages across Italy, I'm sure there's many of these players that can be looked at and picked up and can develop into something really good. But the problem is that there's no opportunity for that in Italy. That's the problem. If we scouted harder, I'm telling you, there's so much untapped potential in Italy with all these players that haven't even been given an opportunity to go to a professional team. Even then,
or
like that's how far back I reckon it goes.
yeah, and then obviously, like let's say in Spain, you have like obviously different. In Spain, it's called communities. Obviously, I'm in Galicia. There's Madrid. There's Catalonia. They have their own sort of system and sort of clubs that develop. And I don't really want to talk about them, but Celta, Fortuna, they're actually a really good development for Galician players.
Mm.
The Deportivo B team got promoted to the third tier. Yeah, they got promoted to the third tier for next season. So there could technically be a derby for both the B teams in the third tier and
Wow.
hopefully the A team in La Liga. But yeah, so I think something like that. I don't know if it's the same. Like there's a Lombardy, there's a Sicily, there's a Lazio region sort of stuff. I don't actually know if there's something like that.
I think that there might be, but it's not as developed. It's not on the same level, and that's the
Yeah.
problem. Like the problem with the infrastructure as well is that most of the stadiums are owned by the government or like the
Yeah,
local
except
council.
Juventus. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it's been difficult because what happens is clubs will get all these plans in place, and then it will wait final approval. And big up to
Yeah.
Brandon. It will go to final approval, and the final approval never comes.
Yeah.
Over constantly.
Because do you think you will end up getting the hosting rights with Turkey in
It's hard to
five,
say.
7 years.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's not looking good right now. Funnily enough, one of the clubs that I think is furthest along with it is Palermo, because Palermo, it seems like are finally going to get some permission to redevelop our stadium. So we'll see how that goes. But it's very up in the air in terms of what's going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, Al Coruña has been eliminated from the list for the World Cup. Oh well, because stadium development, but whatever. But yeah, I guess unless there's anything else, we'll stick with Italy, but this time club level, not Serie A, because to be honest, apart from just two teams fighting relegations, not really that exciting.
By the way, I'll say one thing about that actually. So with Serie A, in terms of the relegation battle, the three teams that I predicted look like it's going to be Cremonese, Verona, and Pisa. The three teams.
I know I said two or three of them. I think I said Lecce as the other one.
Lecce will just. I know they just drew, but I think they'll be okay. I've said this. I think they're better than Cremonese personally.
Yeah, I think I also said Cremonese as well to go down. So I guess looking ahead, not to Serie A but to Serie B with Palermo. There's what, 3 games to go? No, 2 games. 2 games.
2 games. 2 games to go. Yeah.
And if anyone has noticed, Charlie's prediction is, well, it will certainly not happen because he said top 2. It won't be top 2 because Venezia more points. The head-to-head with Monza already eliminates Palermo already with 2 games to go. But yeah, now there's 2 games left. I forgot what's the...
Catanzaro and Venezia, our last 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, now it's almost certain you're not getting third place. So I think if it's the playoff final with whichever one of the top 3 that finishes third, I think the second leg is away.
Yeah, that's correct.
If that ends up being the case, third versus fourth. So what are your thoughts now with 2 games to go? Because, well, it's not really 2 games to go. It's more like 6 games.
It's gonna be more than 2. Our season's gonna be longer than just 2 more games. Yeah, look, I mean, I know I did predict top 2 at the start of the season, but I have been saying for quite a while now that I've accepted that we're going to be in the playoffs. That has obviously more or less happened now in terms of we can't catch Monza because of head-to-head, and we can't really catch Frosinone either. So I think 4th place is obviously secure. We can't be caught by Catanzaro, so that's obviously all good. It's really, really frustrating because we've had a season that I would say maybe not 9 out of 10, but I would say maybe 7 or 8 times out of 10 would get us in the top 2 in terms of the number of points. Because projected, we're probably going to finish on around 73 points. Como, who everyone thinks is amazing now, got promoted with 73 points when they got promoted automatically.
And then Pisa
got 76 last season. But it's usually around, and teams before that have got even less. I can't remember exactly who, but I know they have. So, in more often than not, you need between I would say 70 and 77 points. It usually is to finish second. We are due to hit somewhere in between there. But ultimately, we're competing with Monza, who came down, who have taken the league by storm. We're competing with Frosinone, who I don't know what's happened to them because last season they almost got relegated. And then Venezia, who for me have been clearly the best team in the league in terms of the way they play and the quality, are going to win the league. They're going to come first unless they really capitulate in the last 2 games.
Well, you could stop them.
We could stop them last game, funnily enough. But it's frustrating, but I'm also happy. I'm happy and frustrated because obviously Palermo, I said this on the last show, it's been a massive improvement. Inzaghi has changed everything, you could say. Also our signings. One player that's made a really good impact recently is Modesto. Modesto has really been, the last few games, he's been really good and he's kind of fought his way into the team, really. Like, he's got in above Pirozzi. Pirozzi's moved back to right centre back, and he's got above Giassi as well. So he's really kind of come in, and he never really got a look in at the start after we got him in the January transfer window. And he's really impressed me. He got that red card against Padova. Since then, he's really sort of bounced back and very impressive. Been one of our best players the last few games. It's just a shame that, look, ultimately this season you had to be near or thereabouts perfect to finish in the top two. And unfortunately, you know, we're up against teams that it's kind of like, obviously not to the big up to Catalan as well. It's not even like, for example, like, you know, Liverpool got like 97 points and missed out on the title. Obviously, it's not to that extent, but it is the same sort of concepts that we're obviously having to deal with this season. And it's just frustrating because ultimately, look, the teams that have come down from Serie A have been too good for this league. They've been way too good for Serie B. Albeit, I think I do think Venezia are clearly the best. I think Monza aren't as good as them, but they've still been good enough to sort of be at the level they are, which has obviously been extremely high for Serie B this season.
Empoli
are going to get relegated. Dionisi's been sacked. Surprise, surprise. And they're going to get Empoli are in the relegation playoffs right now. But I did predict this in terms of we're going to end up in the playoffs. It's just frustrating because, like, if we had this season like most seasons, we would have got top two. Ultimately, we just happen to find ourselves in a season where it's a lot more competitive than usual. But ultimately, the dream's still alive with the playoffs. It's no doubt still possible for us to go up. In terms of our last game, we drew to Reggiana, who, you know, not a great result considering they're bottom. They've been awful recently. We did draw, but at the same time, I watched it and I can clearly see that our players are holding back. Like, they're not. They're kind of being a bit cautious because they don't want to, you know, because they know that, look, we know where we're going to finish. We're gonna come fourth. Like, let's just kind of like hold back and make sure we're not injured for the playoffs. So, yeah. Wait, give me 2 secs. I'll be right back. Apologies.
Yeah. In terms of like Serie B, in terms of like the playoffs, it seems like Palermo's opponents could be teams like Catanzaro, Modena, Juve Stabia, most likely. I mean, I know 8th place also gets, but I think 3rd place does play it's like whoever, it's the middle and the outer.
Yeah. So we're going to face 5th, now what is it? 5th or 8th?
Maybe 7th. Something like that. So
yeah, it's 5th or 8th because it's going to be the 5th or 8th, which at the moment in 8th is Avellino, which has been crazy because Avellino haven't really been in the playoffs. Yeah. Cesena have really kind of fallen off. I mean, Ashley Cole hasn't been able to change. I mean, we just beat them before at Reggiana. We just beat them 2-0. Very comfortable game. Ashley Cole couldn't do anything against Inzaghi. But yeah, no, like I was saying, Reggiana was obviously we should have had a penalty, Stonewall handball. I don't know how they haven't given that. But ultimately, look, I think if we had won that game, obviously it doesn't really change what I'm talking about right now. And I'm already reading reports today that for the Catanzaro game and Venezia, we're going to play like our B team, basically. That's what I've been reading today. Going to give the likes of Corona a chance, Vasic. I think you'll see Peda in there, probably Giassi as well. So there'll be a lot of changes, I reckon, in these last 2 games. Obviously, it's good. In fact, I'm actually happy that we're playing Catanzaro and Venezia because we're playing 2 very good teams. Catanzaro as well, our likely opponent in that playoff semi-final. So it will be good to sort of get a feel of it and kind of like, you know, get us ready with these games against teams that, you know, of levels that we are going to face in the playoffs. So I think it's a good look for our current situation. I think it's a good last 2 games to have, actually. Obviously the Venezia one will be interesting because I reckon they would have wrapped up the title by then. So yeah, and definitely promotion. They'll definitely have promotion. They have to win their next game and they'll be promoted. So it's really interesting because obviously the projected final, assuming that, you know, the teams that, you know, if you're predicting how it's going to go, the likely final is going to be Palermo against Frosinone, and obviously Because I said I know Monza and
Be a
Frosinone.
watch along.
I know Monza and Frosinone are on the same points, but I reckon Monza will get into second. I think they're better than Frosinone. You're right. Maybe I'll just do one watch along for that, because that is going to be fire. Because Palermo Frosinone, I've talked about it a lot on this channel. A lot of history with what happened in that playoff final in 2018. Obviously, I think it's 9 years later or 8 years later. Sorry, 8 years later, we could meet again in the same situation. And I said it on the last show that I think what's going to happen is we're going to go up by beating Frosinone in the playoff final. And I still stand by that, because look, Frosinone have been good this season, but I think with Palermo, we really do deserve to go up. And it will be it will be more gutting if we don't go up, because I can see, look, we've got the top scorer in the league. We've got Inzaghi as manager. We need to go up. We need to go up. And I'm confident we're going to do it. I think the challenge, we can't underestimate Catanzaro, in which I'm going to assume it's Catanzaro, because I think that's our most likely opponent in the semi-final. We can't underestimate them because they've beaten us this season.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Their first win, which kick-started their season, and our first loss. Yeah. So
that was,
that's our next.
I remember that prediction.
Yeah, you called it. And that's our next game as well, which obviously I think will be with a B team from us. But
and probably the same for them, because they've
pretty much got fifth as well. So I think both teams might rotate a lot. So I think the Catanzaro league match will be quite interesting. But obviously it will be It'll be kind of like a dress rehearsal for obviously the big two-legged game, which is going to be across 2 legs. So look, Palermo, I think, obviously it's disappointing that we've not been able to get in that top 2. Like I said, most seasons we would have, based on the number of points needed, but ultimately we have to do it the hard way. We did it the hard way in 2022, and even harder way. For those that know Serie C, the playoffs are just insane. Like, you have to go. It's like the playoffs in Serie C are like a whole nother season.
It's a World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much as a World Cup. Like, we started in like a round of 16 and stuff. Like for those playoffs, literally in the round of we started in like a round of 16. So it's literally a knockout stage of the Champions League or World Cup, whatever it is. All games were across 2 legs as well. So yeah, if you compare it to that, it's nothing. And also, this is obviously our best season since getting promoted. So for the first time, we're going to start in the semi-finals rather than the first round, where
Juve Stabia.
Obviously, Juve Stabia happened last season. By the way, I don't want to face Juve Stabia. I don't want to face them, because they're becoming a bit of a bogey team for us. And obviously, I would much rather Monza come second than Frosinone, because I do not want to face Monza ever again after what happened this season.
As long as it's in Serie A.
As long as it's in Serie A, because I think in Serie A, things are going to change. I have more belief that if we're in Serie A, I have more belief that we're going to stay up than Monza, because I think we're going to have more money to invest if we go up into the squad. So we'll see what happens, but, we got to do it, man. But it's obviously, we're going to have to do it the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, let's say, okay, so it's almost likely you're not going to get an Avellino or Cesena, because that 8th place team will get Frosinone or Monza. So Juve Stabia, do you think you'll beat them if they're your opponent?
I reckon over 2 legs, I think we would. But we've had history of them recently. So
yeah. Modena?
Modena, I back us. I know we didn't beat them in the league this season, but they've really kind of. I mean, it's not that they've been bad, but they were really good at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And Modena, we kind of historically have their number as well. So Modena, I'd be confident about.
And then Catanzaro,
we should have enough, but I don't think we can underestimate them, because they beat us this season, and also we've lost to them at home, I think, in both league games since they got promoted a couple years ago. So don't have the best record against them. So I don't think we can underestimate anyone, but we should have over 2 legs. That's the key thing. The fact that it's over 2 legs, we should have enough to get to the final.
The semi-final is, what you call this? The second leg's at home.
Second leg's at home as well. Yeah.
So you never know. But then when it comes to the final, if you make it there, unless I'm not sure, unless it's fourth place against like
Unless
fifth or-
Frosinone or Monza get beaten in
yeah,
the round
then-
before, which would be crazy, by the way. Like, I'm not expecting that, but it would be crazy if that was to happen. So we'll see. But it's going to be, our season doesn't end. I know we've got 2 games left, but our season will not be ending just yet.
Yeah, there's at least 6 games. More or less.
Yeah, at most.
At most, yeah.
Yeah.
At least 4. Hopefully it's just 4.
And by the way, these playoffs, I checked the dates. They run deep into May as well. So we're gonna be playing the playoffs after Serie A finished, the Premier League's finished. We're gonna be doing these playoffs after all of these leagues finish.
Damn. And then, I guess speaking of the Premier League, congratulations! You won a game. You won a game more recently than Newcastle.
I
guess
mean,
there's a lot of games, but I guess the one topic, because he announced it today or yesterday? No, yesterday he announced it. Not the manager, Xavi Simons. I guess he will be Simons for the rest of this year. What are your thoughts?
There's a lot to unpack here. Obviously, yeah, we finally got a win. I was thinking, am I going to come on this show and we still haven't won since the last show? Like, it would have been nuts. But we won a game at last in 2026
against the team bottom of the league,
against Wolves, who, look, to be fair, we never beat Wolves, so it was nice to finally beat them. But at the same time, this is relegated Wolves. And I can tell you something. I know we got the win. Obviously, Palhinha with the goal late on. But we were dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
I watched starting from Xavi Simons' injury and then until the end.
Yeah. So obviously with the injury, first of all, before I come to that, in terms of the game, we were terrible. No change for me. No change whatsoever in the performances we've been seeing. The only difference was I think Wolves were just as bad. And obviously, luckily, the corner, set piece FC, was...
Doherty helped you.
Doherty helped us playing Palhinha on side. So we did get the goal that way. But we were dreadful. And ultimately, we're still in the relegation zone because West Ham won, even though Everton should have had a penalty in that game. But West Ham won, and we're still in the bottom 3. And we've got a lot like I said, Wolves, this was our easiest game, and we could have, on another day, it could have easily been a draw. Easily. I mean, Kinski made a wonderful save at the end to prevent it from being a draw. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, just because we finally won a game, which is good. Look, we had to win that game to pretty much not seal our fate, essentially. And we did win it. So fair play to, obviously, our team and De Zerbi and everyone for winning it. But ultimately, it's the performance is nowhere near enough. And if we play like that, we're not going to win another game this season. And that will obviously see us relegated. So I haven't changed my mind. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong. But there's nothing telling me that we won't be playing championship football next season. There's nothing telling me because I hate to say it, but look, I mean, like West Ham, they clearly have a better mentality than us right now. And it's obviously awful for me to say because I think their team's terrible. But what's happening with Spurs as well is with the injuries. Obviously, before I kind of say what I got to say, obviously, it's terrible for Xavi Simons. Obviously, I hope he gets well soon and everything. It's obviously a horrible injury. He's going to miss the World Cup and everything. But this is what is going on with these injuries. This is absolutely ridiculous. We have had I said this on Michael's show yesterday. We have literally had every single player in our squad have some sort of injury at some point this season, including the goalkeepers. At some point this season, they've all had some sort of injury.
How many ACL ish? Because over the past, let's say,
so we've had Madison, Dragusin, Odebert, Xavi. That's at least 4. I mean, Kulusevski wasn't an ACL, but it was a serious injury. So
let's just say 5.
5 ACL/serious injuries. This is not normal. I don't care. This is not normal. And these doctors, these physios, whoever it is, are clearly doing an absolutely terrible job. Because the amount of injuries we've had is just it's unprecedented. It's not normal. Obviously, every team gets injuries and it's part of football, but what we're seeing at Tottenham is not normal. It's not a normal it's more than just an injury crisis. It's literally a complete I don't even know what to call it. It's just nuts. Obviously, we've lost Solanke as well. Another injury on top of what we've got already. Kudus was supposed to come back, but but there was a setback. Clearly, and you know what's funny is I'm reading like Kudus, and I think maybe a couple of other players. They went abroad to try and get this injury treated because they don't rate our medical team. And if that's true, again, I don't know if it's true, but if that's true, that really says something. That these doctors, these physios are doing an absolutely terrible job, and they clearly don't know how to manage a recovery. And you know what's bad? This is a new medical team as well. We got rid of the ones from last season. These guys are new, and they're doing an even worse job. People are speculating about, is it to do with the pitch at our stadium because our pitch is a retractable pitch? People are saying the same about Real Madrid as well.
But then wouldn't that just like, let's say, how come we didn't get ACLs, or why didn't any other?
Well, it's because obviously everyone else plays there once a year. We're playing there like all the time. But what I was going to say was, but a lot of these injuries are happening away. Like the Xavi one was away. What else? Who's the other one? Madison was away.
Odegaard was against us
preseason. Kulusevski was at home, but it was an impact one. So I don't think we can sit here and blame the pitch, because ultimately it's not like every season we've been in the new stadium we've had injuries to this level. Like I know we've had, obviously last season was bad. The season that COVID happened was really bad as well. But I remember, like, for example, like that second season where it was fully in 2021, I didn't think we had many injuries at all that season.
Or how about the last time we beat Arsenal?
Last time we beat Arsenal, I mean, yeah, that season, I think it was only Romero, really, that was kind of like, it was mostly COVID. That season, we had a lot of COVID cases, but that was sort of COVID. But even that season, I don't think we had a lot of injuries. So when people say it's the pitch, I mean, there might be some truth to it. I don't know. But at the same time, like, when we've been in this stadium, since 2019 now. It's not like every season we've had this level of injuries. So I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, clearly the medical team are doing a terrible job, clearly, because this isn't normal. It's just not normal whatsoever. And obviously, like, it's not the only reason. Obviously, this club didn't want to buy players in January, but it's one of the reasons why we are going to be in the Championship next season, because we clearly don't know how to help our players recover properly.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I watched the Wolves game mainly, literally just at almost around the start when Xavi Simons got that injury. I mean, it looked bad, and then the medical team, instead of like, okay, put him on a stretcher and make the sub, you decide to give him a little bit of a runaround, which could have, They
did the same. They did the same with Kulu last season. They did the same with others. Who is it?
Odegaard
as well. They done the same with Odegaard.
Like, surely you're like, it seems like a bad knee injury, ACL maybe. Maybe we should just put him on the knee.
If it's the knee, if their players has discomfort in the knee, it could always be an ACL. But play on, it's fine, run it off. Run it off. Like, come on.
I don't know if
us getting relegated. Obviously, we can talk about all the issues that everyone knows, like the board, like the owners, like our players, and all of this. But these doctors, these physios have their part to play in this downfall, because they are clearly incapable of managing our players' recovery.
Yeah, I mean, with now how many? 5 games? Yeah, no, 4 games. Oh wow, it's only 4 games now.
Yep. That's how you know it's getting serious, because out of those 4 games, we've got to play Chelsea away, which is obviously a disaster every year for us, no matter.
And now that what do you call this? Chelsea play in the FA Cup final. That means the Chelsea game is on a midweek.
It's the midweek before
the Battle of the Bridge.
Battle of the Bridge
was midweek, I remember. And
that Chelsea game, like, we relegated them in 1975. They're going to want revenge, and that could very well be it. It really and it's not just.
Oh, I hope it's. Oh, I don't know if it's me or Charlie. I'm assuming it might be Charlie. I guess. Oh no, he's frozen. Oh,
Oh, am I back?
now you're back.
That was weird. It just said lost connection.
Okay, so it was you. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, no, I'm basically just saying like our last two home games are Everton and Leeds, which by the time we play them, both those teams, like Leeds will probably be safe, and Everton will probably have to
maybe.
play for. I think they're probably going to miss out on Europe now. So, but
Okay.
even then, like our home record is dreadful. We've won 2 games at home all season. For those
At
that
least we're
know,
not the worst now.
we're not the worst, but at the same time, for those that know, I've been to quite a few games. I've seen one win live all goddamn season, which was the first game against Burnley. I've
The
seen
other one is
one win live all season because I didn't go to the Brentford game. I've seen one win live all season.
Can't believe we can only talk about 2 home wins in the Premier. I know it's also bad for Newcastle at the moment, but at least I can count at least 3.
I was going to ask you about Newcastle because it's looking dreadful right now. I can't
We're
lie.
only 8 points above Spurs at the
I know.
moment. Like already the Newcastle Twitter is like, we might actually get relegated.
By the way, what was going on? Why could Vissa not finish against Arsenal?
Why didn't Baltimore?
You
do
had
something?
the opportunity to do something amazing.
I told people don't trust us.
I know, but obviously it was only 1-0, and if Vissa actually could shoot, you know, you could get a draw. But yeah, like what do you think is wrong with Newcastle? Because obviously we've talked about Eddie Howe and everything, but like you guys are in like, I mean, this is free fall right now. I didn't think it would ever get this bad for Newcastle.
Yeah, we got 0 points in April in 2 games, I guess, and only by 1 goal margin losses. I mean, I saw this week we are actually going to have a meeting, PIF, the chairman, Eddie Howe, etc., to kind of talk about why the season's not been good, what's the plan for the summer or whatever. So at the moment,
does he stay or go? That's the question.
I don't.
I know you want him out, but will they keep him? What do you think is going to happen? Will they keep him or will he go?
I feel like, because I don't know what we would do, because it seems like we'll miss out on Europe. But technically, we could still make Europe, technically. So it's not over until it's actually mathematically over. But then, I guess it will be more, what is the plan for the summer? I don't know. Because it seems like, well, I would assume we're not getting relegated. But we could finish.
Yeah, you're right. It's been bad, but you'll be fine. Don't
yeah, because you'll lose at least one of your games.
More than one.
Or all of them. But yeah, I think I scratched myself. But I think with us not being in Europe again, that means we have yet to actually gone back-to-back seasons in Europe since the ownership. So the last time we actually done that was Sir Bobby in the early 2000s.
Do you know what I think one of your biggest issues are? Is I'm looking at your summer transfer window now. That was a disaster. You spent over 200 million on players that have done absolutely nothing, apart from Voltemada at the start of the season.
But then
even he's dropped off. Apart from that, I don't think you've got anything out of your new signings. None of them.
Trying to remember. Maybe Ramsdale because he kept a clean sheet against you, but that's really it in the cup.
Come on, it's not hard to keep a clean sheet against us. Yeah. It's not like an achievement.
Yeah, but I think maybe one of the things that might be wrong with this season is now we spent 200 something million and we actually got worse. So what if, let's say we keep him, the manager, and spend another 200 something, wherever it may be, and it's around this sort of bad or be like mid-table. Maybe we get Europa or whatever. But if the chairman and the owner, the CEO and whatever say the aim by 2030, so 4 seasons, 4 years from now, we will be competing for the Premier League title. So if they believe Eddie Howe is the guy to get us to that point, then you either have to trust him with recruitment, and if he gets it right, okay. Because obviously, I want him out, but if I was the owner,
I think Eddie Howe has had too much control on transfers, because I think from what I've heard from Newcastle, there's a lot of the players you bought were specifically chosen by Eddie Howe.
Yeah, and then the other recruitment, Steve Nixon, he was the one that got Tonali. I think he also maybe got. I'm not sure if he was there when the time we got Alexander Isaac Cock or Sven Botman.
Did he get Bruno, or was that too early?
I think too early, but I think now obviously the big story. I did this a few 2-3 weeks ago with Liam. I do not mind letting him go. Anthony, not Elanga, Gordon.
Yeah. Gordon's not been good, apart from Champions League, but I don't think he's been good.
We're not going to be in it anyway, so there's no point.
I think Gordon, I saw one of your fans online, was it Geordie Josh, I think his name is. I saw him kind of saying that, oh, Gordon's amazing, we have to keep him. I'm like, I think you guys can do better. But the problem is with Gordon, like, on his day, he's obviously a very good player, but like, if you were to sell him, do you trust your club to go and get a better player to replace him?
That's, I guess, the thing.
Yeah, I think if Eddie Howe is in charge of that, I think you could be in trouble.
I guess the ones, I don't know if it's a saving grace, is we got for the 3rd or 4th summer or something, a different sporting director, Ross Wilson, formerly of.
Speaking of sporting directors, do you want to hear something crazy?
Oh yeah, Lange's something I forgot.
Might stay. I mean, my reaction literally says it all. How he can survive after, obviously, look, I want the owners gone. I'll be honest, right? My sole objective as a fan, my sole objective for Tottenham right now is to get rid of the owners. I just want them gone at all costs. I don't care about a lot else. I just want the owners gone. However, people need to also lose their jobs. And that includes Lange, that includes Vinay, that includes this medical team. If Lange and Vinay are still here after this season, I mean, forget everything. We might as well just liquidate and start from the National League. Genuinely. I'm not even taking the piss.
Would you even get out of the National League, considering what happened to Rochdale the other day?
Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Like, when it doesn't involve either of our clubs, I mean, obviously Rochdale, York, really something exciting happened. On the other side here in Spain, you had the derby of Aragon with Zaragoza and Huesca.
That was mad. I can't lie. That was mad.
And he was already sent off before doing it.
Bro, literally, like he's I mean, he's gonna get in trouble. That goalkeeper's gonna get in trouble.
I think they might terminate.
Yeah, he's gonna get. I'm telling you, he's gonna get in big trouble for that.
Yeah, and I think both, for the first time ever, both Aragon, because they're both from the same community, might be joining Lugo. Woo! In the 3rd tier.
Fantastic. But yeah, like, here's the thing with Tottenham, right? Sort of going back to Spurs.
Sadly,
the only again, I don't want us to get relegated, but the only silver lining is that just maybe this fan base will wake up and take proper action. Because ultimately, the fear I've got with relegation is not even just relegation itself, but my fear. I kind of underestimated this before, but my fear is that the owners are going to hold on to the club even tighter, because if they get relegated, their asset has basically halved in value. So they're going to want to keep it until we go back up, so then they can sell it at its maximum value. And that's my worry with relegation, because obviously at first, I'll be honest, I thought if we get relegated, they're going to lose so much money that it's going to be untenable and they're going to have to sell.
Yeah.
But they might just hold on to it, and that would be a disaster. Could you imagine having these owners in the Championship? Because the Championship is a very difficult league. Imagine having them in the Championship. when the expectation is for us to go straight back up and everything. Imagine having them pulling the strings.
And their ambition was Champions League, not Championship. You know.
But when you look, ultimately, I've discussed this before with Spurs. Am I surprised we're going to get relegated? Yeah, of course. But at the same time, I'm also not surprised because I saw this coming for years. Because when you progressively get worse, when you progressively get more incompetent, eventually you're going to get to a point where you're as bad as it is now. And that's what's happened.
I feel like it might be like Mike Ashley, whereby he would actually still keep the asset.
Yeah.
So obviously, eventually.
I'm kind of like, I always say this to you, like what I'm going through as a Tottenham fan is what you went through as a Newcastle fan under Mike Ashley. It's the same. I don't see any differences right now because both situations are a terrible owner that is ruining the club. And that's what's happening right now. We are being ruined by these people that own our club right now. Ruined, destroyed, everything you can think of. And I'll be honest, right, as a fan, if you gave me the option of keep Enoch and stay in the Prem, and finish, top 6 mediocrity and all of this, or start from the National League with a new set of owners, completely brand new, kind of like Palermo, kind of like that, I'm taking the second option. Genuinely, I'm taking the second option because there is no more I can take under this current ownership.
Yeah, I mean, let's say with those 4 games left, you're on 34 points after 34 games. Last season, you had 38 points after 38 games.
That's I don't think it's going to be enough this season.
I think I'm projecting you to get 38. I'm saying next 4 games or the final 4 games, I'll say 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses. That's what I think Spurs will get for the final 4 games. But the next one, which is Aston Villa away, the only saving grace, it's not really, is that it's the middle of the Europa League games for not for Spurs, but for Villa. So maybe they might rest a few players. I mean, they lost to Fulham the other day, but again, that's probably because they were looking at the Europa League game because they're playing against Nottingham Forest, who, I mean, what was Nottingham Forest's result? I know they played on Friday, but who did they beat? Oh, oh, that was, what, one of the best results of the season. I think the biggest away win of the season. So, not even Spurs have been that. No, have they? You haven't conceded 5 at home this season, I think.
Well, I mean, somehow we haven't.
Unlike a certain club, but I would say Aston Villa. I'll go with a loss, and then
Villa will lose. I'm telling you, we'll lose.
Like Villa. Maybe a 1 goal or 1 or 2 goal margin, and then Leeds United at home. You know what? I think you'll win just because Leeds then at that point, because Leeds play Burnley and will go above Newcastle.
That's great. That's crazy. Leeds, who've been in a relegation battle all season, will go above Newcastle. Jesus.
Yeah, because they play before we play the next game against Brighton, and we don't have a good record.
Oh, yeah, we know how your record is against them.
So Leeds will be above us, which means that when Leeds do play Spurs, I think not really be on the beach, but I think Spurs will finally give you a home win since November. So that's 3 points. So
if we're gonna I said this. If we're gonna win any game, it will probably be Leeds because they'll be safe by that point.
And it's at home. Maybe you have something. Chelsea away, just because I don't know if it'll be scheduled before or after the FA Cup.
I think it's after.
So something like that. I think for some reason you will draw that game. Maybe 2-2, just like the bridge 10 years ago. And then the final game, at that time, you'll have 38 points before Everton at home. Everton win.
And you think we're relegated? Me too. I mean, it's what I've been saying for ages now. Like, since I know this was all before, like, I don't blame De Zerbi for those wondering. I don't blame De Zerbi for what's going on because, I mean, I don't think any manager can fix this. I think it's an impossible job.
Do you think Frank would still have you here?
Frank would, yes, 100% have us in this position.
So it wouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah, Frank was terrible for us. Like, he would have, like, people saying that, oh, if Frank was still here, we would be this bad because we were that bad under him. So
yeah, we were the ones that sacked him. Well, the last one.
Yeah, you beating us was the reason. So
yeah, and then Igor Tudor has 1 point in his managerial Premier League career
against Liverpool at Anfield.
I knew you would get something in that game.
That's how bad Liverpool are that they couldn't even beat us.
Yeah, and then obviously most recently, Alexander Isak actually did score his 3rd goal of the season the other day. But I think you'll get 38 points, but unfortunately, it won't be enough because I think West Ham will beat Newcastle.
Wait, you think you lose at home to West Ham?
Well, of course, yeah. It'll be so hilarious if we lose to both Nottingham Forest and West Ham because we play them back to back.
Yeah.
So obviously, had we gotten something against Arsenal, it would have been funny that we would have affected the title race and the relegation.
By the way, guys, Arsenal are going to bottle it. I've been saying this, that, man, Pep's coming for the title.
Maybe the treble. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea win the FA Cup. Just because
I mean, it would be really annoying. I mean, the problem is, it is Chelsea. They always win something somehow when they're just terrible.
But
like,
if they win something and Arsenal don't,
I mean, no, I mean, I don't want Chelsea to win because it's Chelsea, but like at the same time, like it's just I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't because it's Chelsea just always just win something when they're terrible. Just kind of like like Man United, just Chelsea and Man United. They just win stuff when they're terrible. Like,
so we should be thankful Man United are 3rd after they won today.
40-game season. They've barely played any games this season.
I mean, it feels like they have an international break almost every week. That's what it feels like.
They're playing on a Monday every week, so.
Or if not, on a Friday or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll play Forest that time on a Friday. But I guess in terms of, let's say, we'll start from the bottom up with Conference League. Shakhtar Palace and Rayo Vallecano, Strasbourg.
I reckon Palace and Strasbourg. I reckon.
Ooh. I think I have to check again.
What were you? Yeah, because you said Strasbourg and Palace, I think, before.
No, I remember I said one of the Polish clubs.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, because you said Palace would win though the conference.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I'll twist. I will say Shakhtar Donetsk and Strasbourg.
Wow.
That'll be my prediction. I don't know, because I guess maybe the one good thing with Shakhtar is obviously the manager long time ago, the one that actually won the UEFA Cup, Lucescu, obviously recently passed away. Maybe, I don't know, to kind of help, I guess, that sort of vibe. So I'll go with Shakhtar Strasbourg. Do I want to see Steve upset or not? Obviously, they're not in the Coupe de France final.
Yeah, yeah.
So I will go with Strasbourg ultimately.
Strasbourg.
I'm guessing you're going. Well, you originally say Strasbourg.
Yeah, I'm saying Strasbourg and Palace. I reckon.
Gary O'Neill is going to win
I don't rate Gary O'Neill. So if he wins the Conference League, like,
like the managers that have won it were like what? David
Moyes, Gary O'Neill, like Jose. Yeah.
I forgot the
and
one.
The guy that was at Olympiacos that was at Sevilla. Yeah, that's it.
And last year, Maresca.
Yeah.
I'll go with Gary O'Neill to lift the European trophy before Eddie Howe.
Jesus.
And then Europa League. We'll start with the more fun side, the one we can chill with. Freiburg, Braga, but Freiburg second leg.
I mean, it's a shame because the goat couldn't make it through. The GOAT lost to Braga.
And my prediction of my top goal scorer being him It won't happen.
But you must love Freiburg because they knocked out Celta, so you must.
Oh
love
yeah,
them.
so I'll back Freiburg.
I'm saying Freiburg as well because of Vincenzo Grifo,
Yeah,
Italian player. I'm saying Freiburg.
and they missed out on the DFB Pokal final, but maybe
That's true.
bigger fish to fry.
Bigger fish to fry. Ooh,
We'll speak about that very soon. And then I'll say this: if there's a team that can actually stop Aston Villa from winning, it is actually Nottingham Forest, because one, they're English competition, so they know each other, and it would. I think both teams know it's the biggest games.
It's their biggest games for a long time in terms of recent history.
Yeah, because the most recent big games, like in terms of like a final, is the championship playoff final, which Spurs could be in next season. But at least you don't have Leicester to compete with your title. But that's something that Newcastle don't go through. When we went down, we always win the championship. So let's see if you actually do go down. Will you at least win it? Because we've won it 2010 and 2017.
God knows. God knows.
But Aston Villa, second leg with Forest.
I reckon. Obviously, I don't want I don't want Forest or Villa to win the Europa for different reasons.
Obviously, one will win.
I don't want either of them to win. I'm rooting all the way for Freiburg or Braga. But I reckon Villa will get past Forest. I mean, it's Unai Emery in the Europa League. So I reckon, and unfortunately, I reckon Villa are probably going to win it, sadly.
I mean, you predicted them to lose the final.
I was very confident. I was very confident in them not winning it, and I've kind of got egg on my face.
Well, I'll go with a Freiburg. I don't know, for some reason, because the form that Nottingham Forest are in right now,
they've kind of pulled away in the relegation battle as well.
So it's only like 5 points, so they could still be dragged into it, but they still have to play Newcastle, so I don't think it counts anymore. So I don't know, because they've been scoring 4 goals, 5 goals.
5 goals.
I don't remember. I don't know, for some reason, 4 managers, but they will make it to a final. I don't know. I have a.
And if Forest go through, do you think they're gonna? Do you think they're gonna win?
Do you
think they're gonna win the Europa? Forest.
I think whichever English club makes it wins. So I'll say yes if it's Forest, because they technically do have more European heritage than Villa.
They got I mean, Forest have 2 European Cups. Villa have 1. So
yeah, and we both have none.
Yeah, exactly. Although we got 3 Europa Leagues, so
and we have Intertoto Cup.
Oh, that's the thing that Arsenal fans try and claim is European
and Intercities Fairs Cup.
I mean, we've got a Cup Winners' Cup as well. So,
and then the Champions League. We'll start with the not biased side.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a biased side. PSG, Bayern second leg.
So, whoever goes through against Bayern or PSG, I think are definitely going to win the Champions League. I'm very confident in that.
Could go back to back.
PSG could go back to back. I'll be honest, I want PSG to go through because I don't want Kane. A lot of Spurs fans are going to be shit for this, but I don't want Kane to win the Champions League because they're going to make it about us. I'm telling you. So I want to say PSG, but I've said Bayern are going to win the Champions League for a while now, so I'm going to stick with Bayern. I think it will be close, but I think Bayern having the second leg at home might favour them. So I'm going to say Bayern, and I'm still saying that Bayern are going to win the whole Champions League.
I'll also stick with Bayern, but I can see PSG winning tomorrow.
Possibly,
and then second leg. It could go to.
I think it could go to pens. I think it could go to pens or something.
Or it could be as fun as what do you call this? The Real Madrid Bayern game.
Yeah,
that's definitely. Sort of thing. So I'll also go with Bayern, and then
the most boring tie ever in a semi-final. Simeone against Arteta. Jesus Christ.
And in the league phase, that ended 4-0 to Arteta. I don't think it'll be that bad.
Well,
but
I think a lot has changed since then. I think things have changed.
yeah, they both still haven't won a trophy.
Yeah. I mean, Atleti just bottled the Copa del Rey, so I'm a bit concerned, to be honest.
Both teams technically bottled a final.
Since, yeah,
when they were, because let's say when Arsenal Carabao Cup, they were favored. People were at least saying
most people said Arsenal would win the Carabao Cup,
and then the same with Atleti with the
yeah.
Copa. So maybe if you wear blue or some shade of blue, unless it's Celta blue, then you could.
This is going to be the most stinky 2 legs ever. You just know it. Stinky football.
But the fun thing is if Atleti makes it.
Please. Listen, I'll be honest, right? I'm going to try and say this as unbiased as I can. I think this is 50-50. I think it's literally a toss of the coin. I know Arsenal won 4-0, but this is knockout football we're talking about. Arsenal also beat PSG last season in the league phase. So this is different. It's over 2 legs. It's knockout football. Obviously, first leg being at the Metropolitano, I think favours Arsenal. But I think it's very 50-50. It could literally go either way. I'm just hoping it goes in Atleti's favour. It could easily, I reckon we could see it go to pens potentially. I can see Atleti winning the home leg and their home leg and Arsenal winning their home leg.
How about both games end in a draw?
You think it goes all the way? I reckon I can see that as well. I can see it being 0-0 across both, to be honest. I won't even be surprised with the way both of the teams play, but I have to back Atleti. I just have to, because I can't look. I think Bayern are going to win, but I can't let Arsenal get to the final because it cuts it too close. Because on the day, it's finals 1 leg. You never know. I mean, anything can happen in a one-off game. That's the problem. So even though Bayern, I think, would be massive favourites, or PSG, whoever it is,
you just
don't know. That's the problem. Like it's a one-off game. So I don't want it to go that far. Even though I think Arsenal are going to lose the final if they get there. So I have to say Atleti. I just have to. I can't have them in the final. I can't, man. Because the Carabao Cup final was bad enough. I mean, a Champions League final.
That's wait. Okay, Carabao Cup is the best. Speaking from experience,
I'm saying Atleti though, because I reckon what might happen is I reckon Simeone might just stink his way to it, and ultimately, look, Atleti, whenever they've knocked out Barcelona, they've got to the final each time. So history's on their side in that sense. And also, look at what happened the last time Atleti faced Arsenal in a knockout game. Look at what happened. Semi-final as well in the Europa League. Look what happened.
Griezmann's only? I believe it was his. Was it his only trophy with Atleti?
No, it can't be.
Because he didn't win La Liga.
I know he has the La Liga curse, but was that his only trophy? No way.
I believe so, actually. Because he was at Barcelona in 21.
No, that's crazy.
And then obviously Atleti have apart from La Liga in 21, the last time they've won was La Liga 2014 and Copa in 2013, but that was before he came. So I believe it was actually.
It must be his only trophy, yeah. That has really surprised me.
But on the way, did beat Arsenal on the way.
Exactly. And he scored. What do you think's going to happen?
0-0 or 1-1 on Wednesday night. Extra time in the second leg. And if he's not injured, Havertz is going to score at some point in extra time. Make it 1-0 or 2-1, 3-2, 2-1 aggregate for the Asna. And we get the top 2 in the league phase as the top 2 in the final.
Who do you think wins the final?
But because when was the last time a shock winner won it? Was probably Chelsea.
Chelsea that season, yeah. I'm saying, but surely I've said this: Bayern or PSG will win it. Unless something crazy happens, I think.
I'll go.
You're gonna say Arsenal.
Teams.
Pens in the final, Jesus.
Just like 2012.
I'm gonna suffer.
But I don't know if there's a Drogba on that Arsenal team. Like, imagine it goes to penalties, Arsenal Bayern, and
Jesus.
Harry Kane takes one of, because everyone says, "Oh, Harry Kane never turns up in the final."
Imagine Kane scores the winner.
Would you? Okay, let's say if that happens, would you be happy even if Spurs? Well, at that time, well, Spurs will be relegated. Let's just say.
Look, but as long as Arsenal don't win the UCL, I don't care that much. I genuinely, obviously, I'd my ideal final is PSG against Atleti. That's the final I want,
Yeah,
preferably. But honestly, if it's Bayern against Atleti, I'm taking that as well. To be honest, right?
You'll be like, it's okay.
Just as long as Arsenal's not there, then it's all good.
Actually, for me, as long as Arsenal don't win it, I don't mind if they're in the final, just so that they hype themselves up.
Obviously, if you gave me, like, let's say you if you offered it to me right now, Arsenal get to the final and lose, I'm taking it because for me, that's the best scenario. But I don't want to cut it that close. I just don't want to because on a one-off game, you just don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah, like you just know what type of football Arsenal will play. They'll play like Spurs, Man United last year, which I mean it worked, but imagine the season where Arsenal go trophyless, Chelsea still win a trophy, FA Cup, Spurs get relegated. Chelsea would still have the best season of the two.
Mental.
Of the three.
It's crazy.
Damn. And then I guess, well, one final bit. Let's go with the top 5 leagues. So domestic cups of Spain, it's done. And then in France, it's Lens, Nice. So Nice, Lens.
Nice. I reckon Lens will win. I mean, they're second, aren't they? Nice are actually like towards the bottom. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say Lens win the Coupe de France.
I'll go the same, Lens. And then Germany, it's they won it last season, Stuttgart against Bayern. And would that complete the treble?
I reckon Bayern will win the Pokal this year. I think they're going to win the treble, I reckon.
I'll say they miss out on the treble and Stuttgart win the DFB. Which means
back to back, that'd be back to back.
Which means they've at least won a trophy, unlike Eddie Howe, and they lost Voltemada to us, and they would still end up winning a DFB if they were to win it. And then France, we'll go with Italy. So that's Lazio, Inter, I think.
By the way, that penalty shootout, Lazio Atalanta, that was crazy. That was crazy.
But even then, the Como Inter.
I thought Como were going to do it. But obviously Inter had the incredible remontada. I'm going to say Inter win the Coppa Italia. Like whenever they get to the final, they usually know how to do it.
PSG.
No, I'm saying Coppa Italia finals. Forget Champions League final. I reckon Inter are going to win the double this season.
I'll give Steve a bit more happiness. Why not? I'll go Lazio.
I mean, Lazio have been trophyless since Inzaghi left.
So. Scam a Europa League spot. And they could, there's a possibility they could actually steal the Europa League from Roma.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say Roma finishes 6th.
If Roma comes 6th, they'll be put into the Conference League.
Yeah. And then next season, Roma win the conference, Lazio don't win anything.
Probably.
And then in England, probably the most boring. To be honest, this is probably the least exciting final.
I was hoping it would be Southampton against Leeds. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I reckon Man City. I reckon. I know you're saying about Chelsea and that you never know, but I reckon Man City.
I'll go with Chelsea.
Come on, there's no way Pep's losing to McFarlane in a final. It's just like when we had Ryan Mason. We had Ryan Mason as manager in a final. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, but hey, he did play them in January or something and got a draw.
He got a draw, but he didn't win. So it's like,
well, you can win on penalties, and they don't have Kepa anymore.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but they got Robert Sanchez, who's arguably worse.
Yeah, but at least like he wouldn't give up a goal like Kepa did in March. So I'll go with. It'll be. You know what? It will actually be more funnier because McFarlane let's say he wins. Imagine he can beat Pep in the final, but
And Arteta can't. No, it would be kind of imagine McFarlane wins an FA Cup, and it's like he's equaled Arteta's number of trophies.
exactly. Well, you know what? I'll go with that. That'll be how
I mean, I don't want Chelsea to win, but it's because it's Chelsea. But that would be kind of funny, to be honest.
like.
I'm not even
Like
gonna lie.
Callum McFarlane.
McFarlane.
Isn't like that sounds similar
McFarlane's the Family Guy
Similar.
creator.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane. So he's the voice. Seth MacFarlane's the voice of Peter Griffin. So technically, you've got Peter Griffin managing Chelsea because it's McFarlane's the voice of Peter.
I think he's also Brian as well, the dog.
Brian, Stuart. I think he's the voice of all of them. So,
or at least most of them, because I know Meg is Mila Kunis.
Yeah. No, but I know Seth MacFarlane is like most of them. So you got his brother. I mean, is that his brother managing Chelsea?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. If Chelsea win it, and let's say Arsenal ends up trophyless,
technically that also means that have you watched the movie Ted? That also means that technically Ted would win an FA Cup because McFarlane's the voice of Ted. So
imagine what do you call this? Oh, that's the glorious thing. With a little over a month from now, we will know if Arsenal are still going to be trophyless.
Please, man, it's them going trophyless. It's what football needs.
Even if you go,
and we will be there. We will be there. So
like imagine. I asked Strasbourg Steve about this. Let's have a celebratory stream if Spurs get relegated and Arsenal go trophyless.
Why not? I'll join you guys. I'll come on.
You'll be yeah.
Even if we're relegated, I'll come on.
Lincoln City away, Cardiff away, and
Lincoln and Cardiff away, man. Come on, man.
I mean, we have to experience Coventry away.
Well, didn't you guys have Burton away or something?
Oh yeah, but at least I think we won both times. We were down. But I remember, what do you call this, when SUNDE or LAND, you know, the final game of the season was at home against Burton and they lost and got relegated.
Darren Bent scored and relegated them.
Like imagine they were saying, oh, enjoy Burton away. Well, they definitely enjoyed Burton at home.
Burton at home.
Even though I think they're relegated now. From League Two. So at least this time I could say, I don't know, enjoy Lincoln or
it will be Lincoln. I mean, we've already been memed about Lincoln like 100 times.
Yeah,
like,
so
the whole Lincoln thing's just so old now. Like it's literally
I guess
memed 100 times.
Bristol City, I guess.
I mean, we're gonna enjoy like whoever wins. Like imagine like Bolton and we have to do with Fogden. Like
you know what? If Spurs get relegated, I hope Bolton get promoted.
Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with Fogden. Like it's just
exactly. God. And what do you call this? That tastes like Tottenham away. Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen as well. You know, you can just. You
know that he'll recreate. Dog Dad will recreate the meme. That tastes like Tottenham away. Yeah.
I mean, Lincoln fans are already singing Tottenham away. And,
yeah.
Lincoln City.
If you somehow go down again, because now we've had back-to-back years, Luton went down back-to-back, Leicester went down back-to-back. That means you could be one division closer to like York City,
Tamworth,
Bromley. I think Bromley.
Bromley, you're in League One now. Fair play to them. By the way, that's an incredible story that not a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, because I remember we played them in
Bromley only recently were in the National League South and stuff, like recently. So
damn. So they're now somehow getting closer to Spurs.
We might just be one division above them.
Yeah, they're already in the same division as Leicester.
And Sheffield Wednesday as well. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Like imagine, what do you call this? At least if you do go down, you don't have to go up against Leicester.
That's true. For no Leicester for a title, I don't want to be doing that again.
Yeah. Well, probably. I don't really know if Burnley's going to compete with, but I'll be honest. If Spurs do go down, I actually do think you go up.
We might do, but if
you'll basically be Newcastle 10 years ago.
But again, like even if we go down and come straight back up, I mean, what's changed? If the owners are still here, nothing's going to change. And like I said, I don't even my focus isn't even what division we're going to be in next season. My main focus is getting rid of these horrible owners. Horrible owners. That's what needs to happen for us to get better. It's very simple.
Yeah. So I guess unless there's anything else, I guess we'll wrap it up here. So obviously, I decide I'll just do the two watch because I don't really want to watch the first games. It's more exciting when it's the second
leg. Yeah.
I'll do those
Deciders.
next week or whatever. When it's actually at the Emirates and they lose on the Tuesday. I love how they put Arsenal as the early one that finishes the Tuesday.
Yeah, because they know it's going to be shit. So
yeah, so they put the more fun one, PSG Bayern, on the Wednesday.
Listen, for football to win, we need PSG or Bayern to win the Champions League. For football, actual football to win, and not whatever.
Atleti is fine. I don't.
I mean, Atleti aren't as bad as Arsenal, but I mean, there still is Atleti we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like,
at least there'll be some, at least something nice.
Because do you know what it is with Atleti? Obviously, you'll know this because you watch a lot of La Liga. Like Atleti, when it comes to the smaller teams, they do play very attacking, but in the big games, they are still kind of stinky football.
Yeah, which we might see on tomorrow, Wednesday. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I guess maybe the next time we do this, I don't know if we should do it before the final day of the Premier League season or after the final day of the Premier League season.
Oh, do you know what? Maybe we should do it after the Prem and also after the playoffs in Serie B. Maybe.
Actually, do you know when's, let's just say, the second leg playoff?
I think it's in about a month, exactly a month.
So 27th, 28th.
It's at the sort of around this time next month. So
yeah.
Maybe, but we'll figure it out whenever kind of works best for you and stuff and me. So
and then obviously World Cup will happen, and
I'm looking forward to the World Cup, except for Italy not being there.
Well, we'll see if Bosnia at least puts up a good fight.
Well, I already know because obviously I support England as well. I know England's going to bottle it, so it's just
to be honest, I don't think they'll top the group now.
I reckon Ghana might top that group. To be honest, are you thinking of Croatia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I can see Ghana. I think Ghana, because Croatia, a lot of their players are kind of old.
Everyone says that.
I mean, it's true. They still go on, but I feel like Ghana are pretty good, especially if they have Kudus come back. So,
yeah, the team that I got to watch at this most recent AFCON. Actually, I actually have Panama beating them in the opening game.
Really? You think Ghana are gonna kind of flop?
Yeah. But we'll see when the time comes, and we'll see how far along Italy go in that tournament as well. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. So Charlie, if you want to say anything before we finish.
Yeah, no, look, another good show. All I'm going to say is for these next couple of weeks, I'm going to be a massive Atletico Madrid fan. I've been to the Metropolitano, so I hope I didn't, because I cursed Real Madrid last season. I hope I didn't do the same by cursing Atleti for this season. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, good show. Hopefully the next time we do this, depending on when we do it, hopefully, we're not in the championship, and who knows, maybe Palermo will be a Serie A club after 10 years.
Imagine if Palermo or technically a division higher than Spurs.
That would be mad. Yeah, that would be
first time since maybe, I don't know if the 70s it had that.
No, because Palermo do you know what would be crazy about this? Palermo in 2020, in COVID, basically, during COVID, we were in Serie D.
And Spurs were 1 or 2 years just after.
That was right after we got to the Champions League final. And Palermo had been liquid. The same season we got to the Champions League final was the same season that Palermo got liquidated.
And now, 6-7 years later, it all has.
It's literally, but that would actually be mad because, for both my teams, I had to watch the same year. One got to a Champions League final, the other one got liquidated. Imagine fast forward to now, they've got one. The one that got liquidated is in a higher division
than Spurs.
It's mad.
Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I guess the next time I'll be live, I guess might be on Thursday. I guess. I was actually initially thinking, should I go to Madrid? But I'm the only thing is that Rayo Vallecano you can't get tickets online. You have to be at the, or you know someone.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
Vallecas. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and then Atleti is just, come on. Do I really want to watch Arsenal?
You don't want to watch that game. That's going to be so boring.
Maybe the atmosphere would be nice, but it involves Arsenal.
It
That's-
does. Yes.
So I decided not to go. But yeah,
Whenever it involves Arsenal, you know the game's going to be terrible. So.
oh yeah. I mean, I had to watch Sporting play Arsenal.
Oh,
Thank God I watched the game that there was a goal.
yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I guess the next time will probably be, actually maybe before the final Premier League game, or at least the time we might know Spurs could go down.
Yeah.
And Palermo probably lose to Catanzaro or someone.
No.
All right.
Bro, if we don't even make it to the final, that's but I think we will. We will. We're
I think we will actually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're going up.
see you guys, I guess, in the next one.
Yeah. Take care, guys.